Hey, good evening, everyone. It's Celeste Payne with Celeste Empowers, Cortazo, Arts, and the Wild Pages. And I'm jumping on here today to share a little bit with you. I'm excited about it. I am broadcasting live from the Cortazo Fine Art Gallery here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And I'm going to give a few seconds for people to come on. I have some beautiful artwork in the back. This piece, whoops, wrong way, this way, is by Leslie Jean Pierre, and it is for sale. And if you're interested, I'll show a little bit. I'll go there. Yeah, there we go. If you're interested in that, you can message me, and I'll make sure that we get um, you connected with her for the purchase of that. And then this other one, this way right here, this one is by Fanny Brown, who is another good friend of mine who is an artist. She's an educator. And so we're good here. I'm glad that you're joining me today. I see a couple of you on. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I need to add to my screen, I need to share my screen. Let's see how we do that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just add. It look like they done changed it up here a little bit for me. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. I got it. It's giving me some trouble here. So guess what? We're gonna move forward without that. And I'm gonna just talk to you today and figure it out. That's one thing about these programs is that you can go in yesterday and do something and it works the way it worked the day before, but then when you jump in there, it, you know, does something totally different. So guess what? We're gonna make it do what it do, and we're going to get started. Um, I am, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Celeste Payne. I am an artist. I am a educator. I'm a two-time best-selling author, and I absolutely love what I do, being a creative. And I wanted to share with you a couple of things from a book that I published earlier this year. And the book is called Colorful Affirmations. There it is. It's actually a full coloring book of um, I said colorful affirmations, colorful motivations. I'm going to tell you where the affirmations come from in a second. But it's colorful motivations, and it's like 30 something pages of coloring pages and motivational statements that go with the coloring pages. And so it came from the idea when I was a part of this anthology called Powerful Affirmations for Fempreneurs. When I was a part of this, it just sprung off because I was like, oh, what, a coloring book would be such a great offspring to this. And actually, I was coaching with the lady, just looking for what type of things I could do to accompany this. And she actually gave me the idea. She was like, well, had you thought about an adult coloring book? And I had thought about it, but I really wasn't sure. So I went ahead and did the coloring book as a complement to this book. So, of course, both of those are available. But as I started dealing with the coloring book, I noticed that there were inspiring messages in each page. So, what I'm going to be doing is giving you some pep talks. And what a pep talk is part of our personal empowerment plan. And that's what PEP stands for. And I just wanted to, you know, share, encourage. Anybody knows me, that's what I do. I share, encourage. I always have a positive word to share with you and tell you can do. So without further ado, as I said, my name's Celeste Payne. I am an artist, educator. I'm a two-time best-selling author. And you're going to experience a dose of inspiration and an extra pep to help you step through your week empowered and unshaken. And so before we get going, I want you to go ahead and like the page and share, like the broadcast and share it. If you're looking at on YouTube, please go ahead and like the YouTube channel also. I need to get some viewers up on that. I really don't promote my YouTube channel like I should, but go ahead and like the Wow Pages YouTube channel because we're trying to get those views up. And so what I wanted to do first was share with you when I said we were going to have a pep talk, what exactly PEP means so you understand why I'm doing this. So PEP actually means to bring energy, a high spirit or liveliness to a situation. So that's what I'm here to do today, is to bring some liveliness, heighten your expectations and your motivation to do some things in your life. And so today's topic, and I'm hoping to bring some energy to it, okay? Because sometimes we do get down, but the energy is coming up today. All right. So today we're going to be talking about going forth and being fierce. And that is one of the pages in the coloring book, is a page that you color called Go Forth and Be Fierce. And when I made the coloring book, it was just a response to the pandemic, giving people something creative to do, to motivate themselves with some positive words. So to get to our topic, we're talking about going forth and being fierce. And in order to go forth, there's some other words that came up when I started looking this up. So those words were go, start, and restart. And I really wish my slides were working, but I'm going to have that fixed for the next time. So it's go, start, and restart. And when we talk about these words, all of these words will require some type of action. They require some type of action. And so the thing that you desire can't occur if you don't move, if you don't make some type of action. So I want you to think about things that you've been paused on or stopped on or want to start, and just keep those things in mind while we're going forth. We're going, we're starting, and restarting. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. I see Nadia Francois is joining us. I see some people are liking and sharing. If you could like and share, that would be great. So the first thing I want to talk about is going, because I said we're going to talk about going, starting, and restarting. So we already come to the conclusion that going requires some type of action. And so when I looked up the word go, the meaning of the word go described an incident, meaning that in order for an incident to happen, there had to be somebody going or moving. It also meant an occurrence. So in order for something to occur, you got to go. Or it meant a piece of business. So in order for you to make a piece of business happen, you've got to go. You've got to go. And so if you've ever been at a red light, I know you have, I have, and where I live, there's a whole bunch of red lights, and it seems like you're there forever. They're not, they're like stay lights. They're not, we stay there for too long. But if you've ever been at a red light, you know that the engine is going, but because of the traffic system, the system that you're tied into, and in order to keep everything going smoothly, there comes times where you have to pause at a red light in order for other things to transpire. And so you're just paused for a moment. And I want to talk to you, some of you who feel like you're paused for the moment. And I don't want you to get discouraged by the pause, because while you're paused, that's time to gain knowledge. That's time to do your research. That's time to pay attention and observe. And I believe that sometimes we have those pause moments as an opportunity to sit back and reflect, to learn about some things about ourselves and about the things we're trying, those endeavors that we have that we're trying to do. But also, while you're paused, also stay in the mindset that you still want to move forward, right? A pause does not mean that you have to stop and turn your car. I mean, you would probably get arrested if you had a red light and you just decided, okay, I'm gonna stop my car and turn it off and give up because I got a red light. So going requires you to have some action. And when you go, there are certain times when you have to pause until that light turns green. But all I want you to know is that you should prepare, um, observe, and see different things that are around you while you are getting ready to go and waiting for that light to turn green. And so it's your determination to go that acts like a jumper cable or an accelerator that'll take you from a place of a stop or a pause to a place that we're calling go. Because we need to go. I mean, if you haven't learned anything over the past 2 years, is that, life is short and opportunities, sometimes they come and we pray and believe that they come back around if we miss them. But some opportunities don't come back the same way. They might come a different way, but they don't come back the same way. So we got to be willing to go and be ready to go when it's time to go. So the second word I want to talk about is the word start. And we already determined that going requires action, but we also need to know that nothing can occur if you don't start. Okay. There's certain dreams that you have, certain beliefs, things that you believe that are supposed to happen in your life. And then you don't start, you start. You're waiting for this perfect time. You're waiting for the perfect people to be around you. You're waiting for all the money. I mean, if you have a business or an idea and you're waiting for all the money to come to get started, I'm going to recommend that to step out there, because there's other ways to do things besides the way you think that it has to be done. So nothing can begin unless you start. And so the definition of start means to begin. Okay. So many things that we are dealing with, they begin as a thought. They begin as something written down on a piece of paper. They begin as a conversation with somebody. They begin as just something you noticed that is lacking in the earth, something that is needful. A lot of starts happen because we notice something that's missing or something that is needful. And so I don't want you to take those things for granted. Those are starts. Those are like little sparks, like spark plugs to give you those ideas to move forward. And so I want you to think about some things that that you wanted to start. And we've all had those things where we want to start something. We didn't do it. We just sat on it. Let years go by. And then you look up on QVC, or you look up on the Home Shopping Network, or it's one of those as seen on TV commercials, and you say, "Oh, I thought of that." But guess what? The difference between you and that person is that they started. They didn't care about what they didn't have. And I'm going to talk about a company that, against the odds made it happen. And that could be you. So you got to start. You got to go from this place of stop to a place of movement. And so I want to talk about start. What I really want to focus on today and is restarting. Because when, some people, when the pandemic happened, they had an idea. They were trying to move forward, and they felt like they were stopped. They felt like this pandemic stopped them from moving forward. But I want you to know that to go forth and to be fierce, which is our main topic today, you have to be willing to restart. I want you to say that to yourself, that, I have to be willing to restart sometimes. I can remember when I was in college, I was in grad school, right? Second year of grad school, getting ready to start writing my thesis. And I was studying art. I was studying to be certified as an art teacher, studying to become a leader in the graphic arts industry in education. This was back before, like during the time when Pixar was just getting started. Like I would have been labeled as one of those people that would have went right to Silicon Valley and, started in the animation world. But in the midst of that, I had to stop because my grandmother passed away. And I had to take care of myself. She was taking care of me while I was going through grad school, the extra stuff. And so I had to take care of myself. Mind you, not knowing God's plan several years later, right? Remember, I said I was, my main degree was teacher certification, right? And getting into art education and being one of the leaders in teaching computer mediated art education. That's actually what my uh, degree was going to be in, computer mediated art education. So several years later, let me see how many years. It's 2004. Okay, so 2011, 7 years later, right? 7 years later, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm substituting as a teacher. I'm doing substitute work as just like a supplement of my income. They have a program where they would pay me to get certified, right? As a teacher. And so I took them up. I was certified, the same certification I was trying to get. I was certified. I didn't get a master's degree, but I was able to, you know, get the teacher certification. And when I restarted, it was like I was teaching a couple of years. And then when I moved to Louisiana, I taught a year or two. And guess what? I was in the art teacher seat, certified as an art teacher. That's what I was trying to do the whole time. So what I'm saying is that sometimes you have to restart, and just because you restart, it may not happen the way you thought it was going to happen the first time, but don't be afraid to restart. Everything we do, it doesn't reach our desired result the first time we try. So being certified didn't happen the first time I tried. And I'm sure you can think about some things in your life that you did not reach the first time you tried, right? You didn't reach it. There's that old adage that says that if at first you don't succeed, that you should try again. So again, you've got to be brave enough and have the courage to try again. Put the pride aside, put the hurt feelings aside, and say, you know what? I'm going to move forward. I'm going to restart. There's 3 things I want you to know about restarting. 3 things I want you to know about restarting. And I thank you all that are joining in. I see Dr. Noreen Davis, and I thank you for joining in with us today. 3 things I want you to know about restarting: that restarting is not failure, it's college. I want you to let that sink in. Restarting is not failure, it's college. It's actually building intelligence. So when you restart, you're building intelligence or intel or information that you need that will help you not make the mistake or follow that same path again, right? Um, Restarting is actually moving forward. It's not staying at a standstill. You're actually moving forward. And restarting doesn't mean that you have to stay beneath or in the back. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about here. In 1953, a fledgling company called the Rocket Chemical Company and its staff of only 3, right? They had 3 employees, and they're fledgling, they're suffering financially. They started out to create a line of rust prevention solvents for the aerospace industry. So they had a product they wanted, a rust prevention and a solvent for rust, and then a degreaser, and they wanted it to uh, dissolve rust, prevent rust, and degrease. And they wanted it to be used in the aerospace industry. I'm sure they did their research and found out that that was needed. So working in a small lab in San Diego, it took them 40 attempts to get the water displacement formula worked out. And some of you know who this company is. It's the product is it's WD-40, and they still use it today. Um I don't use, I know a lot of mechanics and stuff use it. I've used it to like get squeaky sounds out of doors and stuff like that. But it's used in so many more ways than it was first intended. And some of you have some ideas that go way beyond, like, your initial idea is just the tip of the iceberg of what is really meant to do. And so it's used in so many more ways than first intended. And when I looked up their net sales for each year, right? Now, this is a product that was built that was created in 1953, right? They haven't changed the formula. Like some of the packaging might have changed, but the formula is the same. They sell $380 million worth of WD-40 each year. This was a company that had to restart over and over and over again. They had to keep trying. And they didn't take their what seemed failure, they're restarting as failure. It was college. It was taking them forward to the next level. They knew, okay, so we can't put this chemical in. We can't use that because that didn't work. So maybe we need to put this in. Let's try that. And it was almost like a search for the truth instead of counting every time it didn't work. And that's somebody needs to hear that. Stop counting every time something didn't work and learn from each time and keep moving forward. Because if you have that idea, if you have that desire, it's still a good idea. If it came from you, it's still a good idea, right? You just have to figure out the right formula to make it work. So the idea went much further than the aerospace industry, and it's on the shelf. Somebody needs to claim this. I'm claiming it. That my products would be like WD-40. It's on the shelf of over 11,000 of the 11,000 Walmart stores in the world. Now it's in 11,000 Walmart stores. It's in all the Targets. It's in all of the auto supply stores. I couldn't even think of all the names of all the auto supply stores. O'Reilly's, AutoZone. It's in all of those stores, okay? But what if they would have gave up at Tried 35? What if they would have gave up at Tried 22? What if they would have gave up after Tried 1 and say, you know what, this is too much. I'm just, we're already fledgling. We don't have no money. We can't, do what we want to do. So I just wanted to encourage somebody that you need to go forth, take that idea and go forth, and don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on your idea. As our topic was, it was go forth and be fierce. Go forth and be fierce. And so I wanted to get my definition of fierce and my words for that, because when I looked it up, there were a lot of definitions and words that may have been used in a negative connotation, but I have a view about what being fierce is. And my definition is to show up in confidence and in power when you're unapologetic and you're unashamed. Okay. That's what I'm talking about being fierce is. So when we're going forth in confidence, in power, unapologetic, and unashamed. And being fierce is walking in the full power and potential that's within you. So I don't want you to be afraid to work the greatness that's in you. And by all means, I don't want you to apologize for it. And that's actually, part of one of the motivating statements that I have added in the book. So what I wanted to do, and I wish I could show this to you, but I'm going to post it in the stream after we get off, is that I wanted to show you one of the resources we had today. So I have the coloring book, right? But in the coloring book, from the coloring book, I've come up with different modules about the different concepts. Okay. So this one is called Go Forth and Be Fierce. And this module has a couple of tools in it. It has an actual coloring page that says Go Forth and Be Fierce. It has a video, a motivational video, which I call a pep talk, which we're doing right now, doing the pep talk. It has a list of affirmations for this, that you can read every day to keep you motivated. Because let me tell you, when you're going forth, you're going to have things that try to tell you to stop. Okay. Don't think that's just unique to you. All of us who are trying to move forward, there's on a daily basis, there are opportunities, there are whispers, there are people who boldly tell you, why are you doing that? There are opportunities to stop. There are setbacks, there are things that don't work your way. And so these affirmations will help keep you going. I have an article included in this which talks about positive thinking and how like when you keep your thoughts positive, how it eliminates some of that, it chokes out some of that negative, all of really, it can choke out all of that negativity. And the article has some tips on how you can maintain a positive thought life. And then I have some self-reflections in there where you can actually reflect on the areas. One of the things I like to do is when I'm confronted with an area of difficulty that I'm struggling with, instead of blowing it off or feeling sorry for myself or, trying to blame somebody else for it, I own that and I actually dig into it and see, okay, yes, I am feeling this, and what do I need to do to deal with it, because I understand that that's bothering me. So I have a reflection sheet that helps you identify areas that you need to go forth in. It helps you identify areas that you are moving forth in and that you need to celebrate. And then those areas where there's opportunities for you to move forward and you might be hesitating because you might be dealing with some type of fear or some type of lack of information or lack of confidence in that area. And so those that whole resource is available on my website. It's at celesteempowers.com, which is right on the screen. You can see that at the bottom, and it's very nominal fee to purchase it. And so I want you to do that. And before I go, I want to share with you 2 events that I have coming up, and I will post these on the page right after we go off of the live. And that is on April the 30th, which is a Saturday. I'm doing a book signing and a paint party. And it is for this book. It's called Trailblazers Who Lead Unsung Heroes. I'm doing a book signing with 2 of the other co-authors that are in the book. There's like 22, I believe, authors in this book. And 3 of us are getting together to do a book signing in person in Louisiana, but you can participate virtually. And we're going to be doing a painting called A Hero Lies in You. And in that painting, it's the painting of a woman with a cape on. And on the front is her shield, her super lady shield, right? But it will have your initial in it. So you can put your initial in there and to celebrate the hero that lies in you, because I know that many of us are doing things behind the scenes. We may not want to be in front. One of the meanings of the word go was to go farther and to go towards the front. And some of us have been in the back so much that we're not comfortable being in the front. But I think in this season, we're being pushed to the front. So you might as well get used to it. You might as well get to the front. When you go in the grocery store, you can't check out. You can't get the groceries that you want until you get to the front of the line and go through the checkout. And so some of you are getting ready to check out and go forth in those areas that in the front of the line. So that paint party is on, and you can register for that at cortazoarts.com. You can, just check it out. And then I'm so excited about this one. I'm excited about both of those because that's something new for me. For both of those things is combining these book signings with paint parties. But this other one, May the 21st, I want you to mark your calendars at 12 o'clock p.m. We're going to have an event called Fascinating Ladies. It's a paint party. So it's going to be a tea. You're going to dress down, right? You're going to be comfortable because you're going to be painting. I don't want anybody saying, oh, I got, paint on my whatever fancy suit. So you're going to dress down, but you're going to wear a fascinator or a hat or something fun with that. And both of these events, you can participate in person or virtually. I just need you to go ahead and register online. I have some people from out of state who reached out to me on LinkedIn today and were like, hey, it's a mother, a daughter, and a grandmother. So they're going to buy hats and be with us online, do their fascinators. And so if you want to join us, please do, because I'm excited to have as many women as possible. That's part of my purpose is my tagline for my business for Cortazo Fine Art and Graphic Design Studio and Gallery is we're the place where creativity meets empowerment. So whenever you deal with me, you're going to get a dose of creativity and some empowerment. I'm always try to have an encouraging word for you. So we are about 29 minutes and 35 seconds. And my goal was to be off of here in 30 minutes. So I am so excited that you joined us. I see Pastor Ruth McCants from Columbus, Ohio on. Thank you so much for joining. Hopefully you can join us for the paint party. Maybe some of the other ladies from Columbus can join you also. I'm so excited about all that's transpired today. And be sure to visit me at cortazoarts.com or celesteempowers.com. And I will be back with another edition of Pep Talks with Celeste. Okay. I will talk to you later. Bye bye.